I've said it before, and I'm just going to say it again. I really think that the MAGA hosts at the Fox propaganda outlet have a bit of a shame kink. They enjoy getting humiliated on their own shows. It's the only reason they would invite Democrats on to completely dismantle their talking points right to their faces, leaving them absolutely humiliated. And it's what we saw tonight from Sean Hannity, who brought James Carville on his show and just really ripped apart the entirety of this lie about the mandate Donald Trump has to run through his horrible agenda as quickly as possible. It was a perfect takedown. It was a lot of great insight about what Democrats have to be doing going forward from James Carville. And of course, Sean Hannity was pretty embarrassed. And so we are going to get into it all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way and it really does mean a lot to me. Now let's get into these clips.
And they're certain to win the House of Representatives back. And that's just a fact. That you can look and see, and Trump is the lowest rated president at this point of any president in American history. It's a fact.
Well, what poll are you citing? Because I'm citing Matt Towery, Robert Cayley, and the CBS poll. So you want me to go to the Real Clear Politics average?
Look at Trump approval, and is the Trump? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If you look at the CBS poll on topic after topic, the country's agreeing with his agenda, not with your party's agenda.
What was Trump's job approval in the CBS poll?
I think it was about 50%, but it was. I've seen polls where it's 54, 55.
I think it was under that. I think it was under that.
I don't think so. But if you look at it and then you break it down by issue.
Ipsos poll is 40. Look, it's not going to do any good for us to sit here and argue, because your viewers can believe you, or they can go to Real Clear Politics, and they can actually see it. It's not like this is some hidden information that people in Washington are passing around each other. It's there. He is the lowest rated president a month into his presidency than any president in United States history. That's the fact. I can be fact-checked. They can do whatever they want.
That's fine. We can go back and forth. You wrote a New York Times op-ed, three reasons I am certain that Kamala Harris will win. And you laid out your 3 reasons. And another point you actually said, I'm doubling down that I think Harris is going to win. You said that. And I'm sure you went by the same polls that you're citing. Here's my question, though. To me, if you want to be the party where the Democrats defend men playing in women's sports, if you want to be the party that stands up for illegal immigrants' rights over safety and security of Americans, because they let millions of unvetted illegals in this country, including terrorists and cartel members and murderers, if you want to be the party that is going to fight against spending hundreds of billions of dollars in waste, fraud, and abuse, I think it's a bad strategy. And as, you know, I respect you, I would think you would agree with me that Democrats should stand with Donald Trump on getting rid of that waste, fraud, and abuse.
So I missed an election call, okay? I'm a gambler. I bet against the point spread. I was actually 26-6 publicly in my last 32 picks, but I missed 6. I got 26 right, but I missed 6.
Pretty good.
Okay, I missed an election, for God's sake, because every political consultant always gets every election exactly right. So let's just say I missed a couple. I think the Republican Party is against the minimum wage. I think the Republican Party stands for more tax cuts for people making over $400,000 a year. I think the Republican Party wants to get rid of a woman's right to choose. I think the Republican Party wants to destroy Medicaid. I think the Republican Party would like to get rid of Medicare if they possibly can. I think the Republican Party supports Vladimir Putin. I think the Republican Party is weak when it comes to communist China. So there are a lot of issues of which I have profound and deep disagreements with the Republican Party on. I must tell you that in all honesty. And there are many things that the Democrats want to do that I really believe in.
Okay, well, you didn't answer.
I don't know any Democrat ran for whether women or men playing sports. I know of no
Democrat out there advocating
that ran on high school sports. Well, I haven't, and I don't know of them. And if they do,
I hear a lot of Democrats.
I'll let the high school athlete.
I hear a lot of Democrats standing up for illegal immigrants. And they don't want to deport them. They want to have sanctuary states and cities. I hear a lot of Democrats like Kamala saying she's against fracking and drilling until she's running for election. I see a lot of Democrats, do support men their rights to play women's sports. And you're not addressing those key issues that are.
It's the key issue what the High School Athletic Association decides who's eligible to play what sport is the key issue. We're going to continue to help people with health care, with Medicaid and Medicare, or the key issues that we're going to secure people's retirement security. The key issue is in this century, under Democratic presidents, 50 million jobs have been created and 1 million jobs under Republicans. I think most Democrats that I know want to create jobs, create opportunity for people, and create opportunity for young people. I don't know of anybody that's sitting there worrying about who plays in the high school track meet. I really don't.
Well, okay. Well, maybe you're not listening to the same Democrats I am. That's fine. All right, now on the side of our screen, I am scrolling all of the waste, fraud, and abuse. And this is money that is not spent on this country. They've identified tens and tens and tens of billions of dollars. And this is being spent on the radical Green New Deal, DEI, wokeism, transgenderism, LGBTQ+. Except with the exception of John Fetterman, I don't hear Democrats saying, you know what, we ought not be spending the American people's money this way. What say you?
I see you got USAID up there. They spend $41 billion. They spend $41 billion. The federal budget is $6 trillion. I did the math, Sean. It actually comes to something like 0.014%. So take the $41 billion, put it against the $6 trillion, and see what you've done when your president is responsible for more federal debt than any president in the history of the United States. So I'll spot you the $41 billion. Now we $5,998 million or whatever you got. Okay, I did the math on USAID. You got it right up there.
Okay, USAID
$41 billion out of $6 trillion.
But James, you're smarter than this.
I'm looking really, at the screen
because I'm listening really closely to you. And USAID is 1% of what they're finding, and they're finding it in every department of government, and they're finding all this DEI money. I got a whole packet of waste, fraud, and abuse.
Somebody said they came up with 8.
Go ahead.
I'm far against waste, fraud, and abuse. I saw $8 billion that they come up with now, but show us the number. I mean,
they have been.
Stand up. You're in control of the Congress. You're in control of the Senate. You're in control of the courts. You're in control of the presidency. Do it, dude. Go to it.
Okay.
Hack away.
Right now we live under Biden and Harris's economy.
In the world.
He's been in office now in his 5th week. He's been in office in his 5th week. And I don't know if you saw my interview with Elon and President Trump, but this is 1%. And what's happening is we're seeing the biggest, I think, corruption, scandal, abuse of taxpayers in my life. Now, I hear you, and I hear James Carville circa 1990s, and it's like you don't want to address what Americans seem to say is their top priorities: illegal immigration. They want lower energy prices. They want the economy fixed. And you're right, it's going to take a little bit of time. We have to get reconciliation passed. Democrats won't help with any of that. So it'll probably sometime in May, we'll begin to get the Trump economy in place.
Do you know what year had the most domestic energy production in American history? I happen to know. 2024.
I have no idea.
Fact check. I do.
That statement is true.
Domestic energy.
But here's what you're missing.
I'm not looking at USAID. $41 billion out of $6 trillion.
But there's tens and hundreds of billions.
American all right, you went for 10 minutes.
All right, okay. Go ahead.
If he can find the money, great, give everybody $1,000. But I'll tell you this: more deficit has accumulated under Donald Trump than the other president in American history. But I'm glad that you're on the fiscal responsibility bandwagon. I'm glad you're on the bandwagon of Bill Clinton being able to balance the budget and bring unbelievable prosperity to America. But you're reading these polls, and I'm reading the polls saying the Democrats are 13 points up in the congressional generic. That Donald Trump has the lowest approval rating of any president at this point in his presidency in American history. So your viewers are getting one view, and I'm reading another view. So one of us is right and one of us is wrong. It's that
We
simple.
put on
And
Trafalgar.
They got fact checkers at Fox, and
Well, we do, and we put on
again,
Trafalgar and Matt Towery and Robert Cahaly
Right.
and an Insider Advantage. And by the way, for the last 3 presidential elections, they were the top pollsters in the country, among the top 3. So they're pretty credible to me.
Look
All
at
right, let's put
4
that aside.
polls that. So again, the lowest approval at this point in history. But if your viewers want to believe this, go ahead and believe it. I mean, I can't do anything about it. If they want to believe,
Listen,
that
didn't
Donald
you
Trump
believe,
is gonna
weren't you
cut- Wait,
telling-
I'm going to congratulate you on good journalism. You asked
Thank
him
you. I
about
appreciate it.
Medicaid. And that's the most constipated answer I've ever heard in my life, but you did your job. I'm going to give you credit for being an insightful
I
and good
appreciate
journalist.
you giving me credit, James. I do. You're
I am always in agreement with the tone that James Carville takes to talking about politics. I do think we should be unapologetic in our defense of these things, especially right now. We are not days away from a midterm or a presidential election in which we have to make incredibly clear what our most salient issue is, what's going to be the best winner for us. I think a new poll came out that showed 71% of Democrats don't think that the leadership in the House and the Senate is nearly fighting back against Trump enough. And I agree. We need to be doing more. Take up every issue. Fight them on everything. Bog them down in the courts as long as we have them at our disposal. There's no reason you should be making these concessions. Sure, I do think that we need to speak differently about USAID than we do the Department of Government, or the Department of, of Government Efficiency. We definitely need to speak differently about that. It's a piece of garbage. But USAID is different than, the Department of Education. People are going to have different perceptions of those things. But it doesn't mean we shouldn't fight for them equally, knowing good and well that they both create a huge amount of good at home and abroad. We need to fight back. And this idea that we kind of need to be maneuvering, be a little coy, what are the steps we're going to take? Well, we're in the minority. We can't really do much. No, don't give me that BS. Fight back. Come on. We need more of it. Do everything you can. Be Mitch McConnell for all I care. Not be Mitch McConnell, but obstruct like Mitch McConnell. Please take a page out of their playbook. Go for it and be unapologetic doing so. Their agenda is terrible. People hate it. Donald Trump is already the most unpopular president at this point in history. Come on. It's not that tough. Let's fight. Let's get into it. I'm about it. And if you're in Congress, you should be too. Or else it's time to take a seat. And we're going to be talking about making sure that happens every single day on this show. I'm fired up. James Carville gets me fired up. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around at the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.